Welcome to Screencast, Kind of Funny's only entertainment-based show where we discuss movies, TV shows, and streaming services. I'm your host, Kevin Coelho, and to the far left, for the first time ever, the shark, Finnegan.
What's up, everyone?
Finnegan.
Thanks for having me, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Hello, Tim.
Hello.
How you doing?
It's important to ask you, what is your movie review scale? Because Nick Scarpino has the patented
have you heard of this? The
scale.
three-finger scale?
There's good, good, bad, and bad, bad.
That seems like it's a very reductive scale.
Yeah. The good, bad, it's a wide range.
That encompasses basically every movie ever made.
Exactly. What's your scale?
I don't know. I guess if I had to scale something, it'd be like a 1 to 10. You know,
Okay.
1 to 10.
Yeah, or 100 point, the IGN scale. You know,
100 points. So it's 1 to 10, and it's the
it's like 9.5. You know what I mean? Which is like
Yeah.
95.
Oh, I'm 9.7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 7.9.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Finnegan,
Yeah.
you watch anything good recently?
Yeah, I did. So last week I saw Alita. I know you guys talked about it last week.
We saw it a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool, man. Like,
Right?
if you go into it with tempered expectations, you're gonna have a good time, which is exactly what I had when I went and saw it.
They jammed a lot of story into it, but also the visuals are so good. Like I think on that alone, it's worth like seeing. And the story's okay.
I think they had a vision and they really committed to it. And I appreciate that. I appreciate when groups commit to the thing without, because at some point you're like, this is ridiculous. And I feel like it requires people to be like, that's the point. Keep going.
Yeah.
Because when you like shy away from it, then you get a piece of shit.
Yeah, I also think like there's something to be said about anime adaptations that don't suck. There are not a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
Like there's this. And then, like, can you think of any other ones that don't suck?
I was saying this on the show a couple weeks ago, but it's like, I feel like the reason for that is this is unapologetically anime.
Yeah.
It wasn't trying to not be. It wasn't trying to be the Hollywood version.
Totally.
It was trying to be anime in real life.
Yeah, and I think it succeeded.
Yeah.
Awesome action sequences. I think, like Kevin said, the visuals were amazing. There's always this, like in film, we talk about this thing called the uncanny valley, which is like the more and more CGI characters approach realism, the less real it actually looks. I don't think this suffered from that.
No,
Rosa Salazar's like character of Alita felt very real and like in the world of the other characters who are live action.
I feel like that's because I feel like that was designed to make it feel like they're not trying to be humans. They are these cyborgs. And it's like, I feel like that's why the Uncanny Valley thing didn't happen. When you watch the movie, I feel like people that just saw the trailer were just
they're like, oh, why is the eyes so big?
Everyone focuses on the eyes, and it's like, listen,
I love it. Like it gives
so
such a
good,
cool, unique look.
Yeah, I think like obviously it's not a perfect movie. Like if I had to throw critiques at it, like I think I'd probably talk a little bit about the story. Yeah, it's right there in the good bad range. Yeah, there's some problems on the page. Like some people have pointed out, like obviously the plot's a little wonky. The whole reveal of who Nova is, that's totally crazy. I was like,
unnecessary move, but all right, cool. I get it.
Don't spoil it.
Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't gonna say, but
honestly, I don't think it matters.
It doesn't.
No, but like
still.
that's very much like oh, there are sequels coming.
It's like no, there's not.
Yeah, there's not.
There's
and
no
it sucks.
chance in hell.
That's too bad because I want to see the end of the story or the continuation of the
and that's
story.
what I was gonna say. Is like my critique is like all of what's really, really interesting about the world that Alita sets up isn't addressed in the movie, right? Like where she's from, what's up in that city, who Nova is, what the story is, what the fall was, like how the world that we're looking at on screen got to be the way it is. Like that's all the stuff I'm being like, I want to know more about that when I watch this movie.
I feel like
you never
that's
talk
why,
about it.
but I feel like that's why I liked it, is that we didn't know and they didn't give us those answers, but they made us ask a lot of questions. I think that's a sign of a good story, right? It's like when they make you invested enough that you give a fuck that we want a sequel to Alita Battle Angel.
The unfortunate thing is, like, I agree with you just in the sense, like, I think that is broken if we don't get a sequel. Because then it's just like, great, they set up this world that we'll never see.
That's true.
Well, it's also like, I don't know, it doesn't really, I agree with you on some level. Like, there are movies that they drop you right in the middle of it and they don't really try to explain what the world is and stuff, and that makes you want it more. But like in this case, I think they could have just done a little bit more to give Alita as a character some sense of direction, because she doesn't, the whole time, I don't really know what she wants. Like, what is her main conflict? What drives her?
Her whole plot moves very, very quickly, where it's kind of like, I'm here, now I'm in love, now there's a flashback, now I'm this, now it's like, it's
what
so
I was going to
quick.
say is I love movies that are character driven as opposed to plot driven, right? And this is very much a plot driven movie. Like Alita moves forward in the story because the plot's moving forward and she just has to, right? Whereas like I like generally the movie to unfold as the character faces challenges on her own, and like really you're not really understanding who she is and where she's coming from, because the movie doesn't really contextualize that. But these are all minor gripes. Like you go into that expecting an awesome anime action movie, and that's exactly what you get.
Totally.
And you get it in spades. Like some of those action scenes are
the first time
well choreographed.
Her dad, I guess, pulls that giant hammer out, and you're like, that is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
and then
rocket powered
they
hammer.
use it, and it's just like no one's like, oh, that's a stupid hammer.
Yeah, I love it. It felt
enjoyed that
in the world so much.
And to your right, my left, Tim, 30 under 30.
It's true.
Gettys.
That's me.
Tim, what have you watched this last week?
I started watching this new Netflix series called Dating Around. Have you heard of it?
I have not heard of it, but I have seen the tile.
Absolutely.
On my
So, dude,
queue.
Netflix, there's like a magic to Netflix where it's just like, you watch the thing that you were trying to watch, but then when it's over, you're like, what's next? And you start blading through, and then you see stuff. And the way that they have the trailers just autoplay, as annoying as it is, it
works.
Introduced me to so many shows that I really like. Dating Around, very interesting premise. It's essentially Next. Do you remember the show Next on UPN?
Yeah, it's a good show.
Where it would just be like one person is going on a date. And
they were chased by an RV, right?
Oh.
Yeah,
they weren't chased. There was an RV with girls in it.
I think I do remember that.
And like if the date was going bad, you could say next, and then they'd bring you a new person to date. Or whatever.
There's one episode I remember where the dude is like having a great conversation with this girl, and then like he's like, yeah, like you're awesome, and she's like, yeah, the next girl's a model.
Yeah.
And he was like, next.
Yeah.
And she wasn't a model. She was just joking. It was like, man,
so funny.
So funny.
But that concept of a show just sounds like the early 2000s.
Oh, yeah. It
so,
really
so
is.
that's the thing about Dating Around. It is the 2019 version of that.
Huh.
So it's
so
Netflix.
You like swipe or something?
It's extremely overproduced visually. Like they're trying to make this the most cinematic thing of all time, and I'm just like, I can imagine you watching it and just being like, why? Why are they like doing the? Why is it ultra wide? Like it's just there's so many weird decisions made. But what's cool about it is it's one person going on 5 blind dates, but the way that they cut it is they all go on the same date. So the like episode 1 is this guy with 5 women. He always wears the same outfit to each of the dates. The dates are in 3 phases. They go get drinks. They go or like at the bar waiting for their dinner to get ready. Then they get dinner, and then after that they go get more drinks. They choose one person to go on a second date with, and you don't see the second date. There's kind of just the reveal at the end of the episode of who they chose. But what's cool about it is since it's all same outfits, same places, they're able to edit and cut to make it look like it's one date happening. And it's really cool to see the dichotomy and similarities of the conversations they're having, where it's like, oh yeah, I was divorced before or whatever, and then it'll cut and be like, yeah, I was 10 years ago and blah blah blah, and then it'll cut and like it just keeps going. But the way that people react to the same information is so interesting,
and like where the path of the conversation goes. Wow, what a wild concept! That's crazy,
and it's very diverse.
It seems really hard to pitch.
It's a diverse group of people too, like totally different backgrounds, and it's very wild to see kind of like where things go. People get sent home in the middle of the day. People like stand up and just like walk out because they're fucking pissed because they got into a fight about racial things. Like it's very 2019.
That seems really annoying to shoot too, because like
I mean it's pretty simple. It's normal coverage of it, and then they just kind of like. They just let them do a first date.
It seems like it's made in the edit.
But so here's the cool thing about it is like it's just such it's people watching, right? But it's people watching that looks very pretty, and you're just watching people go on a first date, and there's so much just meta commentary about like,
are the people pretty?
A lot of them are, but it's very diverse. It's like a ridiculously eclectic. What's up?
Normals?
Any normals?
Oh, there's something else. It's a very eclectic. Cast doesn't matter.
Any people that look like
yes,
me?
totally.
They got a couple me's in there.
Yeah. There's definitely a couple.
They do all right.
They didn't make it all the way, but they got farther than I thought they would. But a lot of the show, they're 20-minute episodes, 20 to 30 minutes, and some of it is boring.
Is it one dude?
It's one season.
Yeah. Well, no. In an episode, is it one dude or is it multiple? Like
it's one dude, 5 women.
Okay.
Then the next episode was 1 woman, 5 dudes.
Cool. Okay.
Then the next episode was
5 dudes.
A gay guy, 5 gay guys, and then the next one was a 76-year-old man.
Whoa.
With a bunch of older women. And I'm like, they didn't
throw one young woman in there?
Well, one was younger compared to him, but it's a cool show. I'm liking it so far. I'm hooked on it just from the
how many episodes
shitty
total?
TV perspective. I don't know. I want to say 8 probably.
Okay, cool.
But it's definitely been getting my interest. It's like there's moments in it that are slow because you are just watching people on a first date. But for all of those, there's always the build up to some type of blow up, some type of like, they're like, I'm spoiling it a little bit, but there's in the gay episode, there was 2 dudes that from the moment they met, you could just tell they were gonna fuck that night. And it's like they barely said a word to each other. It'd be like cutting between all the other things. They're having these great conversations or whatever. Then we cut back to those 2 and they're just looking at each other.
It's just
like,
sexual tension.
and it's all in the eyes. I was like, oh my God. Like, it was pretty fucking cool.
Sounds like an interesting concept.
Yeah.
That I will probably never watch.
Yeah, but it's cool. It's cool.
really hard to sell me on reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan, but I think I could see Paula getting into it and me watching in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, yeah. I watched Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, dude.
I fucking loved it.
How long is it?
I think it's 9 episodes. 10 episodes.
Hour or?
I think it's close to an hour.
A lot of people have been chatting about it on Twitter.
It's really cool. It is a little tropey, but it's also like they do some wild things that are like really rad. With I don't want to get into stuff, but like
essentially, if you're into X-Men, you'll be into this.
Yeah, because it's what it is. It's like an
Who isn't
X-Men.
into X-Men?
I know.
Yeah.
Fucking nerds.
Well, the movies suck, you know?
Yeah. Not all of them.
Most of them.
Days of Future Past, I think, is legit good.
Yeah, it's not as good as you. I can't remember where it fell on the scale.
It is legit good, but like.
But I remember just being disappointed by everything.
I mean, they're all
let me recommend something to you, Sean.
Yeah.
Never watch every X-Men movie in a row.
Don't do it.
Just don't do it.
It sucks.
Oh,
it's
God.
very depressing.
Well, I think I have a sense of what you guys are talking about because I rewatched. Maybe this was like 2 or 3 years ago now. I watched X1, the first one. And boy, does that movie not hold up.
Oh,
yeah.
And you want to hear something even more heartbeaking?
All of them.
X2 doesn't hold up.
Really? Okay.
No, it's bad.
I still hold X2 in high regard.
Then never watch it again.
Okay.
Keep that in your heart,
call.
man.
That opening sequence, man, with Nightcrawler.
Dope as fuck.
That's kind of Brian Singer's thing, though. Is like every one of his movies is pretty much okay all the way through, with one awesome action scene somewhere, and then the rest of the movie's like whatever.
Yeah. Anyways, but Umbrella Academy, it's really fun. I really recommend it.
Cool.
Yeah, go and watch it. This show is recorded live every Friday at 11 a.m. You're watching it now, maybe. Maybe you're watching it on YouTube, kindoffunny, or youtube.com/kindoffunny.
Maybe you're watching it.
On Rooster Teeth. That's a new one.
All
Yeah.
our content's now there now. Pretty big deal.
Some housekeeping. We did a fundraiser. We hit our goal. Passed it by a lot. We hit 80,000. Now we're going to a bunch of places. We're doing a world tour. Kansas City. We're
You're
coming to you
next.
sometime in March.
End of March.
Early
Early April, New York.
Yeah.
In May, Vancouver. Sometime later, London.
Shout out to the Patreon producers, Trevor Starkey, David Meintel, Panzer, Jeremy Goldman, Drew Ernie, and Korish Jazzy. I think I'm saying that wrong. James Davis, the last one. Korish, hit me up on Twitter. Let me know how you say your name. And then this show is brought to you by our sponsors. And today, that's Eero and Hymns, but more about that later. First, the news. Barrett's not
it's
even
cool,
here.
Greg. Damn.
Barrett's not even here.
Barrett usually makes a little noise.
He makes a fun
he's
noise.
coming. He's coming.
News.
Thank you.
He changes it up every week. It's fun. All right, our first story, Space Jam 2 official release date and this poster.
Wait, this is real?
This is real, Tim. This is real.
No.
I included it. Like, I don't know why they put it out this size. I guess it was on Twitter that they put it out, I think. But like, this is real. This is the real size. It has this like weird filter on it that makes it look like that. This is real, Tim.
I would have bet. Like, I walked in, I was like, why'd Kevin put a shitty Photoshop on the goddamn thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
So let me read the date. It's July 16th, 2021. Seems really early to announce.
It's super far away.
Yeah, super far away. And this is the art that they put out. This is not me cropping it out. That's the bottom of the image.
Hey, give me more Lola, dude. Give me more Bugs. I'm into it. I rewatched Space Jam about 10 years ago, and I was like, Man, I wish that movie was better. It's trash.
Wait,
It
I thought you
sucked.
rewatched it.
I rewatched that movie about a month ago, and I was like, I was wrong. This movie's fucking awesome. But it's fucking awesome in the stupid crossover, like dumb, goofy, you just got to be into it way. Like, I watched it a month after I watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and it's like, it is night and day.
Those are, totally different.
One is a 10 out of 10, I would say. And the other is like, it's a dumb, fun movie. But like, LeBron James is a fucking funny actor, man.
That's true.
He's good on camera in a way that Michael Jordan is like, he is just a
But isn't he
cardboard
good-
cutout of a human being.
We'll see.
Isn't he good as like making fun of him being a silly guy? Because he was in like a train wreck,
yeah,
right?
that,
And he's like a kind of a bumbling idiot there.
Not really. I mean, like he is self-aware. Though.
Yeah.
Like the fact that he plays LeBron James in that,
Right.
which is funny.
And he will here too.
But like he plays in that movie, he's very much a minor character, and he just uses the amount of screen time he gets. Like he doesn't outstay his welcome. Like he's used just the right amount. I wonder if we're gonna have. I wonder how a whole hour and a half of LeBron James being LeBron James. I wonder how that plays.
I mean, it's Space Jam. You know what I mean? I'm not expecting an Oscar here. Space Jam did bring us I Believe I Can Fly by R. Kelly. It did bring us the Y'all Ready for This? And all that. It also brought us the Space Jam 11s, the Jordans. So it's like, and it also brought us my baby girl herself, Lola Bunny. So
Did
it's
she
like,
not exist before that?
this was her debut.
Whoa,
and I'll
that's
never
crazy.
forget.
So hot.
When you take all of those things together, it also
Am I wrong? You don't think Lola Bunny is super hot?
It had Bill
I'm
Murray.
gonna go ahead and say no.
It had Bill Murray, right?
Bill Murray.
Yeah, Bill Murray.
It also had man, I'm blanking on his name. What's the basketball player?
There's like a bunch of
Charles
them.
Barkley. It had Charles Barkley, who I
Like
had the
Patrick
action figure
Ewing's
of.
in it. Like there are a lot of them.
Yeah, but Charles
They all have like a
Barkley's
shot
really
where
cool
like the
in it.
Monstars kind of like take them over.
So it had a lot of cool things. I'm joking about Charles Barkley, but all those other things are awesome.
You
I
don't
don't
like Charles
know-
Barkley?
I mean, whatever.
Dude, Charles Barkley's hilarious.
He is
Yeah,
hilarious.
he's really good at it.
Yeah.
Like, well, at least as far as I remember.
Oh,
when
I mean,
was,
I
like,
don't remember him in the movie,
Yeah,
but I mean, as a
super young.
person now,
In the movie,
he's
doesn't
hilarious.
matter. Muggsy Bogues is in it.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, Space Jam 1 had a lot of like.
Wait, no, it's
important
Muggsy
shit
Bogues
going.
who I enjoyed in the movie.
He's
the
a
shorter
little bit-
dude?
he's a little
Yeah.
bit, yeah. I don't know that this movie can have that, can match that, right? Like
Yeah.
that kind of had a lot of elements that made it more interesting than just.
You don't think Bill
Looney
Murray comes
Tunes.
back?
I don't know. Probably not. I don't know.
Also, do you not think Lola Bunny's hot?
I mean, dude, don't ask stupid questions.
Thank you.
What's the next news
Thank
story?
you. Cool, Greg, can you hit next on VLC over here? The next news story. No, take your time. There's no rush. Halo TV series will be directed by Robin Hood filmmaker Otto Bathurst.
Robin Hood?
Does that sound
Like
right?
the
This is
new
really-
Robin Hood?
Yeah, like the new
one with
Robin
Jamie
Hood.
Foxx and
But
stuff.
look how
This
good
is
that
an
image is in the
interesting-
background.
Bill Murray will 1000% be in Space Jam, whatever the hell they're calling this
Space Jam 2. Do you want to see the poster for it real quick?
I already saw it. I'm watching live. How do you think I knew it?
Oh.
This is an interesting story because that movie was not good and it bombed. So,
Yeah.
and that's the only
Dude.
thing that this dude is notable for.
Let me put my 2 cents into this. This isn't happening.
This,
That's the thing.
well,
like
I mean, for years
they've tried
been
this
That's the
talking
thing,
multiple
is, like,
times.
I
It's
just
never.
don't believe
It's going to be
it.
a Showtime show.
I want to point this out. This is something. I mean, we've been covering this story at IGN for literally years. Like this
Yeah.
was announced in 2013 with Spielberg's company, which is still
No,
technically
it's
attached.
still attached. Yeah.
Right, but like when it was announced, everyone said this is a Steven Spielberg TV show, and everyone thought like, oh, he'll either direct, which that was unlikely, but he might produce. His company's still attached, but it looks to be the case that he is not at all anywhere near this project, and they've gone through so many different showrunners and directors at this point. I'll bet you it still happens because a deal is made, but I don't know, man. This is tough.
Halo, like I feel like they've gotten to the point where it's just when they were talking, like Halo's a big deal. I'm sure that like for nostalgia purposes for you guys, it's still a big deal. But like I don't know that it has the cultural impact if it comes out.
The thing
in
is,
like 2
it
years.
could, as a TV show, not necessarily. On Showtime, probably not. And I think
That's
more
the
than
other
that
thing, yeah.
is there have been so many Halo series, whether it was the one, that Machinima Prime thing that
They're
they
all
did.
like very mediocre too.
But it's
and
like-
I'm talking about that. Like I am. You know, I am a huge Halo fanboy.
Nerd.
Like I think
You got him.
I've been saying for years, like I think Halo would translate to the big screen like in such an awesome way. But every live action iteration that they've done of Halo, whether it was Nightfall, which is that story following Locke as he like leads up to the Halo 5 story, or
I forgot the name of the original one. Yeah.
It's called Forward Unto Dawn.
Yes.
It followed like mostly the recruits, like the sort of like younger soldiers, and not Chief, although he does appear. None of them are very good, and they haven't really fully realized the vision of what a lot of fans and me think Halo could be on the big screen. And it just sucks when you see sort of what I would call maybe I'm being a little harsh, but like B-tier directors and talent attached to what should be like, it should be a Spielberg or someone
it should be a Spielberg movie. It's a Halo TV show, in my opinion, just can't work because you're right. It would make an awesome movie because it is just a dumb B sci-fi story, right? Halo's story is
Disagree. It's an awesome, amazing, epic story.
It's fine.
It's like, but yeah, put it into one movie. Call it a day.
Yeah.
One
You're
movie?
done. One movie.
Do you think so?
That's my
Are
thing.
there like 5 games right now?
I know, but like how much of them
with
have
one
good stories?
Dude,
Like
I wouldn't. Yeah, start with one movie. The Fall of Reach.
The Fall of Reach would be freaking awesome. You don't
You
need
make that
Master
into a
Chief.
war movie.
It'd
You
be
make
great.
it, and it's like Saving Private Ryan. Very dire.
It's Rogue One.
Brink of extinction. Like
Did you watch Robin Hood?
the Jamie Foxx one. No,
I saw the trailers too
Yeah.
many times.
the trailer. The trailer told me enough.
Yeah.
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 All right, well, I guess we're not super excited for that. Moving on to the next story, The Haunting of Bly Manor. Wait, Barrett. Next story.
Oh, sorry, dude.
Did you guys watch the Haunting of
Hill
House.
House.
Hill House? Neither
I didn't
of you?
get around to it.
Damn, dude, it's a really
what
really
everyone
good show.
says.
It's honestly one of the best scary like pieces of content I've consumed, and I can't recommend it enough. And they've just announced they're doing season 2,
Cool.
but it's not related. This is going to be an anthology series,
That's cool.
which is really rad. The director of it is Flanagan something.
Flanagan's.
Damn it, I don't know
Need
why I
more
don't have his
mannequins.
name. Anyways, he's done a great job. He did the Hush movie. You watch that movie? That's the movie that's on Netflix that Cool Greg watched and was too scared to go to sleep afterwards.
Shit.
Sounds
Yeah,
like Cool Greg.
yeah.
Sounds like cool, Greg.
Cool.
It's an adaptation of the Gothic novel The Turn of the Screw, and not a story that I've heard of before, but it's about ghosts.
American classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People online seemed really excited for it.
Awesome.
I can't wait for it. Let's move on to the next story. Tim, this one's just for you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Hasbro officially confirms Bumblebee as Transformer reboot.
So here's the thing. You
Did you-
can't
did you
just
see this
do
movie?
that. I did.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
I did. I liked it.
It was great.
It's
great.
fine.
It's like it's
Maybe
it's,
the best Transformers movie.
I would say it is the best Transformers movie because it actually like has heart and it has character, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like all the other ones miss that, including the first one. But you can't just now say it's a reboot after you've been saying that it's part of the canon. And after watching the movie, try not to spoil things. Things happen in that movie that like they made sure fit in the timeline. And whether or not you're saying it's a reboot, cool, you could now go on a different path. There's still a bunch of bullshit we need to deal with. I don't know, man. Not
So this
happy
is
about
not
that.
an exciting thing for you.
I mean, it's more exciting than it just being fully
Like,
in it, but like, I don't know.
The way
Bumblebee's
they
already.
did it.
Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but like, I don't know.
I don't know that it matters all that much to me. I don't care much about
Did
the
you watch
Transformers.
the other 5 that came before this?
There's one I haven't seen.
The Last
I know.
Night.
I watched The Last Night on a plane and I couldn't even finish it, dude.
It's really bad, man.
like you go out of your
Even with Anthony Hopkins in it?
dude, Anthony
he
Hopkins
is.
might even be the worst part about
I
it.
think he is.
because he's so out of place. Like
Yeah.
he's an amazing actor. Everyone
It's
knows this.
fucking bad, man.
He's iconic. To put him in that, it's like I don't know. It's like going to a baseball game and eating like a steak. It just doesn't fit, you know?
Yeah.
I would enjoy that.
Like my thing with Transformers, I've talked about this stuff a lot. It's one of my favorite franchises of all time. Like I love Transformers, not the movies. Like the
franchise,
the
the
property,
franchise,
show?
yeah.
the property.
Growing up, yeah.
growing up with the TV
The
show, and all
80s
that.
movie,
but it's
man,
like
with
the
Unicron.
The 80s movie is so dope just because of the shit they pull on it.
everything
Yeah.
about
Soundtrack.
it is
Yeah.
dope.
Also,
man. Like,
Beast Wars, fucking great.
Beast Wars is great,
Yeah,
and
really
like
saw
the
Beast Wars.
comics are so good. Like the current IDW runs have been so good for Transformers. Some of the best comics, dead like hard stop, like not Transformers. Like
crazy.
they're great. The Lost Light story's great because it focuses on characters. It's not about the humans. It's not about it's these robots living in this war. The politics of it, like all that stuff's so great. Transformers 1, I was so excited for it. 2007, I must have been like 17 at the time, right? Could not wait for this damn movie to come out. And then it came out, and I remember walking out of the theater and just like being so disappointed and like lying to myself, being like,
I liked it.
It was a Phantom Menace thing where it was like, yeah, like that was cool.
And then I watched it again, and I was just like, there's certain action scenes that are great, but then I was like, why is there so many humans? Like, why is this?
Did that have the forest scene, or is that in 2?
No, that was 2.
Okay.
So 1 though, eventually I was like, you know what? It's gonna be okay. Like they announced 2, and then we started.
Do you remember when
trailers.
that fake script came out for 2, and it was
The
phenomenal?
best thing of all time?
At your house, I think I sat and you just read it to me.
There was this leaked script. It was fucking
Yeah,
fan.
it was just fan.
But it was so
good.
And
it
then
was
2
not short.
And then 2 came out, and it was not a good movie. In fact, it was bad. But
2 might be the most forgettable, just movie in general. I don't remember anything that happened.
No, it has the great
2's pretty,
forest scene.
yeah, memorable.
Where they fight.
2's the one with
Optimus.
Jetfire.
2 that's Revenge of the Fallen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
Wait.
very forgettable.
Is that? Thanks.
Yeah.
Is that the one where Jetfire's the dude that like kills himself and like goes on
Optimus Prime.
That was a
Optimus
great
flies.
scene too.
Like,
Remember the thing that like they needed to bring Optimus Prime back, and then it dissolved, and then it magically came back when they went
The
to
sand.
Optimus. Yeah,
Dude,
fucking dumb.
These movies fucking
So
suck.
dumb.
But 2 had cool action scenes.
that
the
not The
forest
Matrix?
fight was fantastic.
They all kind of have cool action scenes.
No, but
No,
2
but a lot of them
specifically-
have action scenes that are like
It's metal
too
in the
much
blender.
motion and
Well, there's definitely 2. That's characteristic of just the Transformers movie. Too much.
But number 2 has the forest
And
scene.
that's why
That
the
a lot of
forest
it's in
scene-
slow mo.
It zoomed out. It was wide. It was IMAX. So it was
Yeah.
the whole thing.
So
and
rad.
They made the decision to be in this giant open field, so there's not things getting bumped into. You can see the robots fight. You can actually see the action, and that's why it's the best action scene in the franchise. Then you get to 3, and it was just like they were so lost in what they were trying to do at that point. Bringing Megatron back, it's like
that's the one with the moon, right?
And Megatron was literally a garbage truck.
God.
It's like so much of it was just so bad. But again, cool action scenes, and I've never seen a city get decimated in a movie like they did Chicago in that.
Except for Superman.
Like
Yeah,
it was
Superman.
I know, but like it felt more like, oh fuck. It felt like it felt connected to the human characters in a way that Superman, it's just like it might as well have just been toys being knocked over.
4 that's Extinction,
Age of
right?
Extinction, which I saw in theaters, and I walked out and I'm like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen.
I remember this very vividly because I went and saw it, you went and saw it, but we saw it separately, and you texted me and you said, I found that movie offensive, which
Yeah.
I thought was
That is what I
the
said.
greatest thing. Because like I've always been like, Tim will love this
No.
because you generally do. But then, yeah, the fact that you hated it was like, yes, that
And
it
that's why I
emphasizes
stopped
how
watching.
bad it
Didn't
is.
watch 4.
Hated it. And then I didn't even watch last night when it came out in theaters. I was
didn't
like,
either.
fuck this.
Which is unfortunate because I want to be honest, that first trailer for the last night seems really awesome.
but then it's not.
But it's also easy. Like it shows like, you know, a bunch of Transformers with like swords and knights, and then you have this Anthony Hopkins VO, and I was like, it's really easy to
Yeah.
make anything seem cool
Yeah.
with Anthony Hopkins doing a
But then
VO.
I remember I did a double feature at my house because Gio was gone for a weekend.
Oh my
Ladies and
god.
gentlemen.
Why would you subject
Ladies and
yourself
gentlemen,
to that?
I watched back to back Transformers The Last Night and Ninja Turtles 2 Out of the Shadows.
I hear that's
It
not
was
bad.
a fun movie. Fun movie.
It's
not
a great.
good.
It's
Yeah.
a great. Not great. It's a cool like cartoon come to real life.
I didn't see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's exactly what Max
Yeah.
and Brian said. Is like if you love the cartoon and just wish that was a movie, that's what the movie is.
Exactly, and that's what it is. But Last Night, man, if I thought Age of Extinction was offensive,
So
Last Night
bad, dude.
is just like, it's a joke of itself.
What did
It's
that,
the
like-
most complicated, convoluted piece of shit story of all time.
Jesus
There's
Christ.
literally I watched
It
it on a
is.
plane and I couldn't finish it, but like there's this one part where
Where Bumblebee fights Hitler,
there's that.
fights alongside Hitler, excuse me.
There's
what?
Yeah.
There's like a robot Transformers butler who like helps Anthony Hopkins. He's like a regular size Transformer. He's like a cyborg. He's like our size. I don't know. It's weird.
Like
but
the
there's
robot
this,
in
like,
the girl in
it's
2.
like Chappie
Yeah,
almost.
yeah.
But like
God, I hate
there's a scene early on in the movie, like towards the end of the first act, where the main characters all get separated and they go their different ways. And like by the time you get to the third act and they all reunite, I had forgotten that they were even in the movie.
Yeah.
They come back and you're like, oh yeah, the little girl. What was she doing this
And they
whole
also
time?
they kill off Shia LaBeouf's character.
Wait, what?
Off screen, like
Yeah.
in some stupid ass like line. That's
Is
just
he
like,
in the movie at all, or are they just
No,
okay?
no,
got
it's
it.
just like, oh, the Witwicky family, which apparently like it went back for millions of years. God, whatever, fuck this. What's the next news story?
All right, Barrett,
Stop talking about this.
The Punisher and Jessica Jones canceled by Netflix,
No one saw
which
that.
means
Inevitable.
the Marvel Netflix TV universe is no more.
Yeah, so this is really. Why are you sad about this?
You didn't like it?
It was mostly. We put this in like such a weird light. We're like, oh yeah, the Marvel Netflix was all really good.
Not all of it.
Yeah, nobody said that.
Most of it was bad. So like, we should just move on and try to create something better.
I thought it was cool what they were doing. It was a fun little experiment that just
Daredevil, I think, is awesome.
Daredevil season 1,
season 1,
and
season 2 is
3.
boring as shit.
Season 2 kind of lost its way, but did you see 3?
Did you watch the? Oh, I'm sorry, no. Daredevil. Got it.
So
Sorry,
season 1 was awesome. 2 was.
I actually liked 2. It had the 2 storylines, right?
That was the thing. Is like you kind of split it down the middle because like a good half of it ends up kind of being about the Punisher, which makes Daredevil's story not seem as cool.
Right.
And then in the end, he ends up not. This is much of a spoiler, but he ends up fighting sort of the same villains as the first season, so that's not all that cool either. And then 3 regains its strength, and 3 is awesome. I don't know if you guys saw season 3.
I haven't seen any of this shit.
It is really good.
I think I finished it.
3's
I really
good.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
So I think it's sad that we're just deprived of Daredevil. Like, I think that sucks.
Well,
Punisher, I thought was good too. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, there was a fan, a letter from Marvel to the fans that was just like, "Hey, it was a cool experiment. There's a total of 100-something episodes, and they had a quote which I should have written down, but from Daredevil, where it was like, let's remember Daredevil's dad always said, like, it isn't how you go down, how you handle going down, or it's how you get up from it."
Mm-hmm.
So
a recurring theme in many comic books.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things like, is this the end of those stories, or are they just going to be on Hulu?
Well, so that's the thing is there's a lot of speculation about whether this lives somewhere else.
Right,
and I want to get your guys' opinions on this. Me and Aransky talk about this nonstop, but like the word on the street is that it may go to a service like Disney Plus or Hulu, which Disney has a controlling stake in.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The word might be Hulu because people perceive Disney Plus to be very, like, it's supposed to be family friendly.
Yeah.
And so how do you have like Daredevil and the Punisher on a family friendly service?
Right.
But I don't know. What do you guys think? Does it come back or is it dead?
It's interesting the family the like friendly stuff because they now own Fox, one of the Fox studios, right?
Well, they own 20th Century Fox.
20th Century Fox, right?
Yeah.
Which makes a bunch of like R-rated, not family friendly stuff, and like I guess that would be weird on like a Disney Plus. That's like, here's this giant like kids section.
I have a feeling, I know that right now, currently, they're saying that there's no R-rated movies and all that stuff. I think that's going to change. And I think that at the very least, it'll be a separate service or like a separate launcher app, you know, that like you can go into that has everything. Because like what they're building towards here, it's like they're not going to leave that money on the table. They have too many properties that make too much money. And like the fact is, it's like, okay, cool, they're launching their own thing. These are Disney shows that have been on Netflix. It's not like Disney's afraid to go there. Content-wise,
yeah,
right?
But I feel like Netflix does have that option for like the kid one. Like when you go to your accounts,
that's kind of what I was going to say. Is like surely there's a simple way to sort of build in that like some of this content based on its rating isn't accessible to kids, like a kid's version or a kid's account, or depending on what account you're signed into, you have your age dictated or whatever. Like age gated, you know.
I imagine the Disney Plus thing is going to be the flip of Netflix, where Netflix is like, it's Netflix. Oh, there's a kid version. It's going to be there's a kid version. Oh, you can also have an adult version because they're going to market it to parents of just like, hey, this is your one. If you're going to get one streaming service, it should be
Here
this.
it is. It's got all this
for
magic,
the kids.
yeah.
They'll have it forever.
But also it's for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you want to see the Punisher? Like you're sick and tired of cartoon kid bullshit? Watch some dude like shoot off people's heads with machine guns. Like,
did you watch The Punisher season 1 and 2?
Yeah. So I haven't seen 2 yet, but season 1 I thought was. I just think Frank Castle's awesome.
Yeah,
like,
he's such a badass.
Yeah, like,
and he's just a murdering machine.
Yeah,
fun to watch.
Like it's surprising. Like they committed. You were talking about like committing to something. Like they commit with that character. He is ultra violent and somewhat not redeemable.
I hope personally, as somebody that didn't watch these mainly because I knew how not canon they are, despite how many quotes you might pull or whatever, these aren't in the MCU. Knowing that we're going forward, getting the Loki and Scarlet Witch and all this stuff, and those are going to be in the MCU. Like by default, they have to be, right?
Right.
Like I hope that we do see Daredevil and we do see Punisher and all that, but not these. These let them go. These are their own stories. The Netflix MCU series, let that close that chapter. Let's go forward. It could be the same actors. I hear that a lot of them do a really good job. Cool.
Yeah.
Bring them on.
They're so
go.
good.
But it needs to be its own thing. I don't think this news is surprising. The only person that didn't see it coming was Daredevil.
Clever.
All right, it's time for some trailer talk.
Let's do it.
Trailers.
I love trailers so much.
Me too.
We got a couple trailers today.
It's a unique feeling that I've never felt in any other circumstance than hearing Kevin read.
I don't like. Let's not talk about it. I hate it.
It's just like
it.
there's like it's like this weird sense of like. It's not cringing. It feels like cringing, but
there's a lot of anxiety in my mind while I'm reading.
There's a twist on it where it's like it's like a cringing where I'm on your side. Where I'm like,
I start jumping around. That's the problem. I gotta slow down.
It's like chugga 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 chugga. We just gotta get that train going. You know what I mean?
Tim, the panic is so real.
Trailer
All
time.
right, so the first trailer we're gonna discuss is The Kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Western movie about Billy the Kid.
You don't like Westerns, right?
No.
Yeah, I love Westerns too.
We just haven't had a lot of really good Westerns.
Yeah. Or well, we had
years.
a while of a lot of Westerns a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
And like it got
98,
oversaturated.
right? With Will Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so dumb.
Big fan of.
Ethan Hawke.
Damn it. Where is he? This guy. Yeah.
Dane DeHaan.
Dane
DeHaan,
DeHaan, man.
dude.
I
Really?
like him because he has a unique vibe, right? Like,
Yeah.
I've always thought. So you guys see Chronicle?
yeah.
Yes.
One of my
Yes.
favorites.
The only
of course.
movie
It's
he's
so
good
good.
in.
Yeah. So
Stop that.
I mean,
He's good.
He's kind of right.
He's good in
In
a
what?
lot of
Amazing
stuff.
Spider-Man 2?
I mean,
I like his presence.
That's the thing is, there's something about him that makes him really watchable and like
Yeah.
awesome as an actor.
he just has a like.
But he has made bad movie choices for like the last since Chronicle.
But
came
I
out.
feel like all the movies on paper sound good. Like I'm sure that when he went to like whatever the meeting was where someone pitched it to him, where it's like Amazing Spider-Man 2, you're gonna be
You're Harry Osborn. Say no more.
yeah. There you go. That's
I
dope.
get it.
The
Like, there's
what's
a
the other
few-
movie that just the last one that bombed, The Thousand Worlds?
Oh yeah.
Valerian and the City of
Valerian
Oh,
and the
yeah.
City. That trailer looked cool. Someone is like, hey, the dude that did Fifth Element wants to do another movie.
Yeah, but that director has only made like 2 good movies.
Yeah, I know.
And they
And
were
he was
20
ready for the
years
third.
ago.
Yeah, it didn't work out super good.
Yeah.
It was really sad.
I don't know. I mean, Dane DeHaan, I like the guy and I want him to be good because if you haven't seen Dane DeHaan at his peak, like go watch Chronicle. This is a movie that surprised everyone. No one
Amazing.
thought
Michael
no one
B.
thought-
Jordan, dude.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan. That's like one of his like early movies. The movie just surpasses all of your expectations, unless I raise your expectations by saying all this shit.
But
think
it
it still
really
hits
does.
it.
It's one of these movies that is found footage.
Yeah.
But it's so well done, and I feel like the how they get the footage is cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
The
a
most,
good movie.
The most impressive thing about Chronicle to me is the writing, and I feel like it's because the dialogue feels so authentic
Yeah.
to the characters and to the world that you believe in it so much more that the found footage stuff doesn't come off as corny. It comes off as fitting because everything just feels realistic. It's like the most grounded superhero movie possible.
Yeah.
Because it feels like that's what would happen.
And it
Yeah.
also doesn't, like, while these kids acquire superpowers, it isn't a superhero movie the way we've come to know superheroes. Like, they don't wear capes, they're not in suits. It's really these
Are they
characters.
saving anyone ever?
Sometimes, like a little bit, but the story follows Dane DeHaan's character as he kind of like spirals into madness, essentially, is what
So
the story's
good.
about. And it really, it's a movie that you kind of expected, like, oh, kids get superpowers and shit goes off the rails. Like, that's what you expect. And really what you get is a lot deeper than that. And that's why it's cool.
Yeah.
Max
So-
Landis script, by the way.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So talking about this trailer, not a great trailer, but man, it was jam packed of people that I really like.
Very strong cast.
Yeah, really strong
Chris
cast.
Pratt with a healthy beard.
As
So,
like
not so healthy.
he looked like a real bad guy.
I thought that was an interesting choice just because, well, I mean, like, I love Chris Pratt,
Yeah.
but he just did another Western, the Denzel Washington one, the remake. What's it called? Magnificent Seven.
Magnificent Seven.
Yeah, and it's just like,
was he good in that? Did you watch that?
The movie's all right. I
Okay.
mean, he's pretty good. That's another movie that's strong cast all the way through. But like, yeah. Well, there's not parts of it that are bad. It's just that Magnificent, like if you've seen the original, then like some of the really big story beats that are awesome and amazing and unique, they just do the same thing in the remake, and it's not all that surprising. And it's updated for the modern era, so it's
Right.
like a little bit faster, a little bit more actiony, and less like that sort of like foreboding like sense of westernness that was like iconic in the 70s. So this kind of reminds me in a bad way of that. Like
Yeah.
it just looks kind of bland, even if I love the cast.
There's not
Also,
enough
Ethan Hawke was
you can
in
give
that
me in the
movie.
world to watch. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Ethan Hawke and Chris Pratt were both in Magnificent Seven. So it's like, this isn't. It's like a stone's throw from that. You know?
I will never watch this movie.
Wow. What if it's great?
If I'm on a flight to China and there's only like the 6 movies you gotta watch, and I have time for like 10.
Yeah, you're
I'm just
choosing
not watching
Age
this.
of Extinction.
Yes, yes.
You'd watch Age of Extinction again.
over this.
Jesus Christ. All right, cool. Moving on to the next trailer. Someone submitted this to me last week.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have an unpopular opinion on this.
So, Long Shot is the name of the trailer.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's watch this trailer.
Oh wait, maybe
And
you're going the same direction I am.
It
Continue.
totally won me over by the end, where I was like,
Thank you,
dude, this movie
It looks
looks
good.
great. What
I
a
was in from the
weird
beginning.
combo.
Yeah. Okay. So I just saw a lot of the discussion on Twitter that like people are hating on this movie.
Oh,
it
are
looks,
they?
Yeah. It looks like a straight up.
It looks like a rom-com.
It looks like a rom-com, but in a almost like their criticism is that it's cynically just like Seth Rogen being like, I want to hook up with like an
My
older,
babysitter?
like an amazingly attractive person like Charlize Theron, and I get that, but this trailer feels authentic to me. I think Seth Rogen is endlessly charming on screen. He's really funny.
He really is charming.
And
It's
Charlize
just,
Theron is amazing and beautiful and super charming in this movie too. Like they seem like they have a really good vibe. Like I think it's gonna be funny.
there's the scene where like they're talking in the trailer, and then he walks away and falls down the stairs, and it's just like that sort of humor is so dumb, but like so well done with.
That was my
Seth
least
Rogen.
favorite part
Really?
of the trailer. Yeah, I don't like that type of shit.
I
Like,
know it's so dumb, but I felt like they did a great job of him like just
I didn't like that. I didn't like the sound design. It's so by the numbers of
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
you hear it, then you hear the audience go, oh, and then later when they do, they're watching it and you hear the rewind sound and then watching it over and over. I'm like, can we just give up on this trope? Like that's bad. But I love how self-aware this is. Like when you get towards the end of it and they're like, oh yeah, it's just Pretty Woman with he's that guy. You're that. I love that. Like they know what this is. The supporting cast seems fantastic. I don't know a lot of their names, but I'm like, oh, you're
I recognize
you're the
you,
dude
yeah.
that was in the bad group in Pitch Perfect, or like
You're Ice Cube's son.
who?
Right,
Oh my
yep.
God, he's one of my favorite
He's so
actors.
good.
He's
Yeah,
really good.
He's so good. So I can't wait for him there. And then there's the woman that's not Charlize Theron, like the other main woman that was in the trailer like a lot.
Like her assistant or
Yeah,
whatever.
the one that's like, you can't hang out with this idiot.
I love her. Love her. I always forget her name. She's Paul Scheer's wife.
Barrett.
And she is so
don't you pull it
fucking
up?
funny.
Jesus Christ.
The thing I always talk about, Burning Love, that's like the Bachelor parody series. She's the Bachelorette, and she's so good. So good. I can't wait. I definitely want to see this.
Yeah, it looks fun. Like it looks. Again, you got to keep your expectations in check.
Right.
I don't know that this is going to go down as like one of the greatest rom-coms of all time, but like it should
Yeah,
be
I
a
doubt
fun,
it,
charming movie, a feel-good story about people that you're gonna, hopefully you like a little bit.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next trailer since Barrett refuses to pull up the IMDb.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Rocket Man. How you feeling about this trailer?
Significantly less hyped than I was after the first.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
this
man.
is starting to feel more Bohemian Rhapsody.
It feels
than
very Bohemian
something
Rhapsody.
special.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like this trend of. Well, I guess Bohemian Rhapsody doesn't necessarily.
It doesn't
fit
go
trend.
this far.
No, but I meant like this trend of making biopics about people who are basically still around. Although I know that Freddie Mercury isn't still around, but like Queen is still around,
Right.
and like they're still very in pop culture, like the minds of everyone.
But also like Straight Outta Compton, where it's like these people are still.
Well, I mean that
kicking
actually
in,
felt good for me because
I mean, that was a great fucking movie.
Like
Yeah.
their cultural relevance in the mainstream
Yeah.
like ended in the 90s. So like that's far enough removed.
But like,
I feel like.
are people? Is Elton John like?
But like I feel like
running
this
around
fits
doing
the
stuff?
bill with.
I'm
like,
sure that he's playing music still. Like, but is it that?
No, that's what I mean
Yeah.
though. Is like it's a little weird to make a biopic about Elton John when Elton John is still here and still doing things. I think.
But
But
is
like-
he? Is he still doing things?
I think he's like technically
Joey
retired.
just saw him in concert, like.
But like, isn't
couple
this his
weeks
But it's
last?
not, they're not like big concerts.
No,
you
but
know?
I thought like, wasn't there a
Right?
big
Are
announcement?
they? I don't know.
Elton John-
I don't know.
yes.
I'm trying to.
Elton John is on the level of stadium performer, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Anywhere he
huge.
goes.
Joey, how big was the concert you went to?
He sold out 4 nights at Staples Center.
Okay, yeah, real big. Totally wrong about
Yeah.
that.
Him and Billy Joel, I feel like, are the two like big.
Is that what that
ones.
mic's for?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is it on? I don't know. Barrett playing Tetris.
It's on.
I don't know. I mean, like, I love Taron Egerton. Like,
Is that the main dude?
That's this dude. Yeah,
I
the main
love him
dude.
so much.
He's the main dude in Kingsman.
So good.
Also, he's Eddie the Eagle. If you've seen that,
He's what?
Eddie the Eagle. It's about the Olympic skier, the British guy.
No, I haven't. Is it
Hugh
good? Do you
Jackman's
recommend
in
it?
too. It's all right. It's a good feel-good movie.
I like this actor a lot. Didn't realize it was him in the first trailer, and then watching it now, I was like, oh shit.
He's still a little too good-looking to be.
Elton John, not a good
Elton John.
not a good looking man.
Well, he's got the teeth. You know.
Wow, that's all British people. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
I don't know about this because I fell in love with the first trailer where I was like, oh, I like that they're going to this like fantastical, larger than life. Like when he performs, like with this where everyone starts like floating. It's like I liked that, and I feel like that like gave it a purpose to exist.
Yeah.
Whereas like Bohemian Rhapsody, like I loved that movie as an experience. It's not a great movie.
Yeah.
But like, did you see it in theaters?
I didn't actually.
Oh my god, I saw it.
Kind of
in
been boycotting Bryan Singer recently.
That's fair. But like, you should watch it because it is very cool.
If
but
you like
I'll
Queen,
get
it's
around to it.
phenomenal.
I saw it in
do like Queen.
Dolby with the audio, and it's like it felt like I was at a rock concert. Like it was awesome.
I
but
saw it.
that's what it is. Like the story,
Very thin.
it felt like a VH1 behind the not behind the music.
No,
but
not
like,
even. That's even deeper, right?
Yeah.
That's another thing is like these biopics, I don't know if I mean, this is true of Straight Outta Compton too, but like anytime the producers are the band, like you're going to get a very watered down, straightforward story that portrays them in the best possible light.
Right.
And that's not necessarily the best story.
When I brought up Straight Outta Compton, that's where I thought you were going. Where it's like when the people are still alive and like
And they're
influence.
involved.
have
in
an
the movie,
influence.
yeah.
Like then it's like it's the best version of events.
That's
And
true.
To be fair, I really do like Straight Outta
And
Compton.
I love that movie.
yeah, yeah.
Where I feel Straight Outta Compton succeeds, where Bohemian Rhapsody doesn't, is Straight Outta Compton. It's a movie that has a story and has a plot and has characters that start somewhere and end somewhere that makes sense in a line. Whereas Bohemian Rhapsody felt more like picking and choosing moments.
Yeah,
to
here
get
are his
to
like coolest
songs.
moments in his life, and let's just glaze over these horrible, like him cheating on his wife.
There's a lot, I mean, there's a lot of that stuff that obviously like if you're making a movie about you and you can choose what not to conclude, you're probably going to choose to like.
I'd probably add some
good
shit.
for you, man.
You know?
That shit ain't true at all, but I'm gonna put it in the movie.
3 years of cocaine.
But yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody. That's also a movie made by two directors, essentially. Oh, funny story. The guy who directs this movie, I forget his name right off the top of my head, but it's the guy who replaced Bryan Singer on Bohemian Rhapsody.
Interesting.
Yeah, which
It feels so much like Bohemian Rhapsody.
do you think that's how he got
in
the
this trailer.
job? Is like he came in and saved Bryan Singer's ass for being like Bryan Singer's
I
terrible.
mean, I think
and
these are
then-
coming out too close to each other to like.
You think
have
it was
that.
like
But
True.
like maybe not like, hey, I saved Bohemian Rhapsody, let me make this, but more like
I'm working on this.
yeah, this is something.
I got
like,
this, guys.
I already did this.
Yeah.
Let me greenlight this at the same time or something. I
Yeah,
don't know.
maybe. I don't know. I'm not really excited for this anymore.
I
think it's a cool trailer.
There was a part in the trailer where he's like saying his name, which Reginald, I think it is, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's a dumb name," and like he points to the dude, and he's like, "I think I'm gonna call myself Elton." He's like, "That's my name." He's like, "I know."
Yeah.
Oh, you're a badass, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty
You just
cool.
stole this dude's name.
Yeah.
I'm more excited, I think, after this trailer because it looks like it's like we're seeing in the trailer, like, oh, this is gonna be a story about a man who's creating a persona and then living in that persona, and I like the idea of watching that story.
That's cool. That's interesting. I think that another thing is like and this might be blasphemy, not the biggest Elton John fan, where it's like I like his songs, but it's like I could not tell you the name of any of his albums.
Dude,
you know
he's
what I mean?
part of the Beatles, though.
Fucking hate you, Kevin.
so funny. But like, whereas Straight Outta Compton, obviously I'm very ingrained in that, and Bohemian Rhapsody, I love Queen. So it's like
Queen's so good.
with this, I'm like, maybe I'll learn something if I watch it. Yeah.
Do you think you're gonna?
I think I'll probably watch it. It
Finnegan,
seems like a movie
think
past
any
movie.
interest in?
Yeah, I mean, I see most movies, so I'll probably end up catching it at some point. I don't know if it's like a day
Bold
one
statement.
opening
you see
weekend
most
thing.
movies.
Most movies I'll see. Yeah.
Interesting.
I just like being at the theater.
Yeah, I do too.
You guys know this about me.
do
I'm
you
generally
use-
at the theater like every weekend.
No, I
Do
know
you
that.
use any service like?
Don't
No,
get
you
started here.
You got you.
I thought we won you over.
No,
I thought there was a point
In
where
fact,
you're like,
you put me off of it. Like anytime.
oh,
you,
because the tweeting.
Yeah, anytime.
I wanted
you,
Movie Pass to succeed. I wanted it to stay as
It was
long
never
alive.
going to succeed.
Who cares? Now it's better.
But dude, AMC,
Well, yeah, I
AMC
hear-
Pass is fucking.
I
rad.
don't necessarily think AMC. Maybe we'll make this our big topic.
Do you know it? Ransky has AMC. A lot of people I know in LA have AMC.
Let's hold
Pass
this.
and they
Let's
love
hold
it.
this conversation.
amazing.
Stop.
You
Let's
have
hold
it?
this conversation.
Yes, dude.
I'm gonna do one more trailer to talk about.
Ooh, yeah.
Twilight Zone trailer.
This
Yo,
looks cool.
This is how you sell a streaming service, man. Look,
Oh, okay.
Man, I'm
Everything's-
so
that's the part
upset.
that
Yeah,
sucks about
it's
it.
really
hey,
upsetting.
I'm getting it. How much is it?
Who cares?
I have no idea. I don't
not
have
enough.
it. I want.
It's not
I want
cheap
it.
enough is the thing.
Oh, this you
Dude,
look up.
Support good
This you'll
content,
look up.
man. Like, I enjoy a 7-day free trial. Cool, I'll do that and watch this shit. $5.99 a month. Oh my god, this looks like it's worth $6 for sure.
Yeah.
Every single thing in this, I'm like, I want to see all of these. Every actor in it, I'm like, I love you. The best thing to me is the look of it. It feels so modern. It feels like a movie more
Yeah.
than a TV show.
It doesn't remind
And
you of
every
the-
single bit that we saw looks like it has a cohesive feel and tone to it, which is so important with these anthology things that I feel like a lot of they just don't hit that mark that they need to. And this looks awesome. Obviously, with Jordan Peele, I'm like, let's go.
Dude, you know that Jordan Peele, the reason all these people, all these amazing, like Adam Scott and like all these amazing cast members are in it is because they want to be working on whatever Jordan Peele is working
yeah,
on.
dude, it's great.
Yeah.
So cool. I didn't love the trailer.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I think it was the music. Where just it didn't grab me.
Do you like the original Twilight Zone though?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I love it so much.
I mean, I think this looks awesome. I agree with everything you said. It has this tone to it. It feels modern though. It doesn't feel dated. That's like the thing is like when it was announced that he was going to be doing a Twilight Zone thing, I was like, that's an old show. Like if it feels old or doesn't feel,
Yeah, but I feel like
Like
that's a
it's-
show like people like. I mean, Dark Mirror is Twilight Zone.
Black Man.
Or Black Mirror. Sorry, yeah, Black Mirror is Twilight
no,
Zone.
see, I think Twilight Zone's way smarter. I have an unpopular opinion on Black Mirror. I think Black Mirror is very on the nose. Like it's not subtle enough. This looks subtle enough. Like where there's a mystery to it, where like you want to know what's happening, and as you're putting it together, you're blowing your own mind. That's what this show feels like. Where in Black Mirror, any episode, I'm like, it has some interesting ideas, no doubt. But like any episode I'm watching, I'm like, I get it. Like how much more do you have to?
I haven't
Tell
seen enough
me,
of it
yeah.
to know, but like the episodes I did
Too on the
see,
nose,
I
yeah.
would say I'd put more in the Twilight Zone camp than what you're saying, but I only saw maybe 2 or 3. But this looks great to me. I remember
Wait,
when
you
they
didn't
first
watch too much Twilight Zone?
no Black
Okay,
Mirror.
Black Mirror.
When they rebooted this last time in
Yeah.
like the early 2000s on
was-
UPN or whatever, CW,
They
I
had
don't
some
know.
good episodes, but I don't remember it too much.
Exactly, and I
Yeah.
feel like it kind of fell into a trap of it didn't modernize, and I feel like this has a movie like quality feel to it. Like this feels bigger scale than that one because that just felt like a modern TV show at the time, which is not what people were looking for.
Right.
And this, I think, having Jordan Peele, having this cast,
I think
and-
that's the biggest thing with Jordan Peele doing Get Out and that being such a like cool horror movie. That like that's what's gotten me psyched about it.
That's
like
great.
it seems like it's in the right hands. And then this trailer, chock full of great actors.
absolutely,
And it's just one of those things where it's
very
like,
purposeful.
wow.
I think the music, though, is that you were saying you didn't like it. I feel like to me that's what makes this feel modern, and that tells me the scale of this. They did the Hollywood movie trailer thing of like, we're gonna give you that song that you know, but we're gonna like slowly build up, and it's gonna be epic. It's gonna sound professionally recorded, like there was money and attention put into the score, and like that's the difference between TV shows and movies to me. And I think that we're gonna see this, and it's gonna be better than normal TV show. And I'm gonna pay for the streaming service for this.
That's crazy.
I don't know if I'll go that far.
If you do that, and I know that I don't think you're a fan of Star Trek, but I'd highly recommend
wanna watch
Star Trek
Discovery. You guys have sold me on
Dude,
it.
did I tell you I bought it?
No.
I bought it.
Are they
I
still in
bought
the first
season 1.
season?
No, they started season 2, and I want to watch it so bad.
$4.99,
Oh, it's so good.
$5.99,
Well, there was some caveats to that.
free trial.
Yeah.
There's like a $9.99 for ad free.
Oof.
See, this is the thing is like
That difference
it doesn't
is minor, but it's
in and
worth
of
it.
itself, yeah, $5 or $10, that's not a lot for a streaming service, but it's the fact that you're paying for like 8 other streaming services at the same time, like it adds up.
This is where you have
We're
to have
very-
friends.
We're very close.
You know, you got one
we're
friend
very
with
close to
Hulu.
getting back to where we were with cable services
But see,
before we got
One
streaming.
friend with Netflix.
Here's the thing, though. Like people keep saying that the difference is the quality has been risen across everything. If you don't want one of the things, guess what? You don't want it because there's nothing good there. Don't get it. It's like with cable, you couldn't just not pay for the bad channels, right?
making a
I
good
feel
point.
like with Hulu and with Netflix and with
No, but like-
All Access and stuff, they're putting effort and money into these programs. Like everything is becoming HBO. It's not like cable was, where it's like you had to then pay extra for HBO, but like great, you get some good things on this channel and that channel. It's like it's not channel based, it's content based.
No, I know, but I mean, I just don't know that Like I don't think everyone wants to be like HBO, and that's their goal. I don't think everyone is there yet.
I think everyone, with the exception of Hulu, that I can't think of right now, has like something worth joining to watch. Like Discovery with CBS All Access. Netflix has a ton of shit that's just really, really good.
Handmaid's Tale was the
Oh,
Hulu
yeah,
one,
the
right?
Hulu
And
one,
it's like,
right.
That's the thing is, and again,
That
be
shit's really
smart.
fucked.
Subscribe
Also, they
when
have
you want.
Jack Ryan. No, that's
Back off
Amazon.
when
Never
you-
mind.
Yeah,
you
that's
don't.
Amazon. But Amazon also now has stuff that is its own and cool and worth watching.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think this is going to be awesome, no doubt.
Yeah.
I'm just going to, hopefully maybe I'll free trial it, or hopefully there's some other way I can access it without having to pay the sub.
With it,
Pay
you
for
know?
content, man. Support people
Sure,
doing
that too.
cool
That's
shit.
a great option.
I do that, man.
It just feels
I
so
do.
foreign. It
There's
feels
just
so
a lot,
foreign, yeah.
There's a lot of things to support out there
There is.
So I want to have a brief conversation. You go to the movies a lot.
all the time.
Last year, what was your favorite movie that you watched in 2018?
2018?
Yeah. Like a 2018 movie. We did our top 10 list, but you can tell me however many you want.
I think the one I loved most was probably Annihilation or
Interesting.
Black Klansman or
Black
Sorry to
Klansman's
Bother You.
one.
Those three are like the three movies that I was like stunned didn't get Oscar nods. Although I get it.
Black Klansman did.
I meant that.
Yeah.
Sorry to bother you.
Sorry to Bother You is
Oh,
the
right,
one
right.
that
Got it,
really
yeah.
stood out to me as like, how did that
That was
not?
such an interesting movie.
Well, I mean, I get it.
its
It's
big
really
moment.
weird.
Really weird.
Really
I
weird.
wanted to know a little bit more about the world. It was cool that they didn't. I understand that's what the movie was, but yeah.
Did you see Blind Spotting?
No.
Blind
Very-
Spotting is one of the best movies from last
Yeah,
year.
like definitely. Now that I've seen it recently,
this year?
It's from last year.
Oh.
2018.
And it is the movie to me where I'm like, I can't believe it's not nominated. And
Hmm.
I think that it is the much better Sorry to Bother You. I think you should check
Who's
it
in
out.
it? Who made it?
It's Daveed Diggs, who was on the original run of Hamilton, and his friend Rafael Casal, who's like, they're both like Bay Area kids, and it's about kind of gentrification and black and white identity in Oakland. Where I feel like Sorry to Bother You, I don't think is a fair comparison, because I
Yeah.
feel like Sorry to Bother You is more about capitalism sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whereas,
but I still feel like I put them in the similar vein of the kind of
It's like social commentary.
social commentary type stuff. Like it's not
Fair.
necessarily about race, but also is still.
Yeah.
But it's just the social commentary movie, and especially like it's Oakland. It's like there's a lot of elements that go into it that I feel there's overlap.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought it was like, that's a movie, especially in the current Hollywood model, like that. I can't imagine any producer trying to pitch that to a studio and being like, this is the movie we want to make. You know, people aren't interested in hearing that stuff. That one really stood out to me. But then, yeah, I think Black Klansman I thought was awesome. I don't know if you guys
I
seen
haven't
that.
seen it.
Yeah,
it's
I watched
so
it.
Good.
So good.
It's so, I say this, and I think it's maybe a little controversial. I think it's in the same tier of Spike Lee as like Do the Right Thing. Like it's right there
It's
alongside
really
it.
good.
It's so
It's
good.
very good.
And like it's so good that it makes me take back everything bad I've ever said about Spike Lee. Because before that I'd be like, yeah, I love Spike Lee, but the last like 10 years he hasn't made a good
Real
movie.
tough.
15 years maybe.
But
like
this movie's great.
this movie is great, and he commits in areas, without giving away spoilers, he commits in areas where like I would, if I was, I direct, if I was in that same chair, I wouldn't have gone that far. And that just shows you why he's awesome. You
Yeah.
know, like he, say what you will about Spike Lee, but he cares so much about the subject matter. So I thought that really stood out. And then yeah, Annihilation, which is really early in the year, came out like
Yeah.
February. It had this weird thing too, where like in the rest of the world, it's on Netflix. So
Yes.
people think of it as a Netflix movie.
Well, it was on Netflix eventually. And
it's
it
still not here though, right?
really? No, I think it is.
I'm not sure.
Barry, you want to look that up real quick?
But yeah, like when it came out,
JustWatchTV.com.
it was a Netflix
Alright.
movie everywhere in the world, but in America where it had a theatrical release. So I saw it in theaters, and I don't think it did all that well because of that.
Uh-huh.
But man, what an interesting movie.
From my understanding is that it was I thought it was produced by Netflix, or like they bought it and then put it in theaters so that it could have a run at the Oscars.
I
And
mean, I'm
then
sure
it-
that had something
yeah.
to do with it. They did buy it, Netflix, but again, weirdly,
No, it's not. It's Hulu.
Yeah.
Interesting.
yeah, but everywhere
Mortal
else
Kombat
in the world.
Annihilation.
Oh my God.
And American Ninja 4 Annihilation are also available on Hulu.
Annihilation. Jeez,
Uh.
that movie.
It was fine.
Yeah, but I really, really enjoyed it. It was fucking weird though.
I mean, it's
What a trip.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Like I think that dude's filmmaking.
The acting in it also is phenomenal from everyone that, like the whole squad that goes into the the bubble or whatever the hell they
whatever
call
it
it.
is. Yeah.
It was
It's just so
distributed by
good.
Paramount in North America and China and Netflix internationally.
Yeah. See, there you go. Netflix had international rights
Interesting.
for it, but then Paramount had a theatrical run in the States. It's
I really
weird.
remember it going out on Netflix and having a date because I watched it like the week before, and it was like in between that period.
You sure you weren't in like Canada or something?
No,
I don't know. I
been.
mean, it doesn't matter. I think that this is an awesome. Like full disclosure, I'm a big sci-fi guy. It's my favorite genre. So I'm generally more forgiving of sci-fi than I am of other things. But I don't think that this fits the bill in terms of like I'm giving it a pass. Like I think it's a genuinely awesome adaptation.
Yeah.
I haven't read the book. And the cast, like you said, is really stellar. And the ideas that drive the movie and how they're thematically resonated in the filmmaking are awesome. Like the whole theme is division and sort of separation, and how that happens in the movie and the things that happen are horrifying and beautiful in the most crazy, unique ways. And I thought that was awesome.
Annihilation was real good. Real good. You didn't watch it?
Yeah, it's cool, man. I mean, I don't blame people who didn't like it. Didn't really get
So
a lot of press and stuff.
You go to the movies weekly, but you
Just
don't have
about.
any
It's been-
service?
It's been rough lately because
Yeah.
I've just been super busy. But yeah, I mean, generally, if there's a movie that I want to see at the theaters, then I'm there like every weekend,
Yeah.
just about, you know? Sometimes there are like things released that aren't good. And so I'm not going to go see bad movies or movies that I wasn't going to see just to be at the theaters.
Right.
So maybe like every week is a little bit of an
But if you had
overestimation.
A-list, you could do that.
Well, yeah, totally. But I mean, even then, it's like, I don't know. I'm going to see movies. I know what I want to see and what I don't want to see. It doesn't really have to do with reviews or trailers.
Sure.
Just
It's a
my
feeling,
own
right?
thing.
You
Yeah.
watch a trailer and you're like,
Exactly.
or
yeah.
hear like the story summary.
You know, or
and it's
talk
like,
to my
oh, yeah,
movie
well-
buddies and
Yeah.
like what we're buzzed about. Things like reviews or box office doesn't affect that. So I don't really know if a service might help in the long run, like save money, but it's also like,
it really would. Just do
I don't know, it
math.
has to be the right service. You
Yeah.
know? Like I never thought MoviePass was the right
It
service.
sucks because I loved MoviePass. I legitimately love MoviePass. I have a Cinemark Century 20 right next to my house, and it's so easy. Like it literally is 5 blocks away. It was a walk. Great. Like every week we would do go get sushi and go watch a movie, and it was fun. But now I have A-List, which works fantastic.
How much is A-List?
$20 a month.
24, I
gets
think
you-
now, right?
Not yet.
Oh, really? I thought it was in the beginning of the year.
I don't think so. But it gets you 3 movies a week at any AMC. It can be any theater, any auditorium. So Dolby, 3D, IMAX, anything. Same price. Don't pay extra. You can reserve ahead of time. You get to reserve your seat, whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can reserve tickets for movies that come out. Like as soon as tickets go on sale, you can reserve it. So I have my Captain Marvel
I have
Booked.
our Us movies.
and
right?
Us.
Yeah.
Yeah, like booked
Which-
already.
Ooh,
Just-
Us looks awesome.
There is a flaw in their system because those take up 2 reservation spots, of which you have 3 a week, which means that I now have a reservation for seeing some movie on Sunday. I can't remember what it is, but I wanted to go with Joey to see some rom-com that just came out with Rebel Wilson.
That's not a flaw in the system, though. That's necessary so that people don't just reserve a ton of movies.
I guess you're making
And then
sense.
like,
I
change
guess you're
your
making
shit.
sense.
Yeah.
But I
think
want
it's
to
good
watch a
thing.
movie on Friday and I can't. But it works really well.
I mean, you can. You just have to pay for it, like
I'm
a
already
regular
paying
person.
for it. I'm already paying for it.
A-List is great.
Yeah.
I'll look
like,
into
it.
the
Awards on
the
point.
problem I have with it is there's 2 A-list movie theaters or AMC movie theaters in the Bay Area, and that's
In San Francisco.
or in San Francisco. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
is
really
Van
really
Ness
unfortunate.
and
No,
Van
Van
Ness
Ness
is
is
gone.
closed.
R.I.P.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Van Ness
2 weeks ago.
closed?
yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay, I mean, I
So it's
guess I
kabuki.
could have seen that. I could have seen that coming.
Yeah.
That theater's
Yeah.
kind of janky.
I saw
Yeah,
Too
very
Fast, Too
tricky.
Furious there.
We saw Spider-Man there, didn't we? All of us?
Homecoming. We did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool. That's Nick's theater.
So now it's time for Out Now on streaming services. Not too much. Hulu has a movie called The Sister Brothers.
Cool.
It's about it's a Western. It's about a couple of brothers whose last name is Sisters.
Cool.
And it just seems really cool. Very like if you like Westerns, I say check it out. Netflix we got this week Ken Jeong's You Complete Me.
I
Ho.
hear that's so funny. Just people saying it on
Yeah,
Twitter.
it's good stand-up.
I haven't seen it yet. Yeah.
Neither have I.
Do you have interest in that? 'Cause
I
you're-
don't.
You're a big
Really?
stand-up guy. How
Yeah.
are you not
stand-up guy. A lot of these like really mainstream like actory types doing
Yeah.
stand-up, I tend to not like as much. But I
Dude,
will
Ken
say
Jeong's
Ellen
fucking
was
cool.
a great example of that. Like when hers popped up, I was like,
Yeah.
this is gonna be garbage. And I watched it, I'm like, this is fantastic.
Very wholesome.
One of the best
very wholesome
stand-up
like
specials
you would
on
expect
Netflix.
of Ellen.
She killed it, man.
Yeah.
Like it like beautifully weaved storytelling, very
Mm-hmm.
funny, like and not as like you know, perfect and it goes there. Like she's talking a lot of shit. It's cool.
But I think she does have stand-up chops like from before she was really, really famous,
Yeah.
I believe. And then same with Ken Jeong. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I'm definitely gonna watch it.
I just found out like earlier this week that he's a doctor.
Yeah.
I
Was.
didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he's practicing
Well, I mean,
anymore.
I think he still
Yeah.
has like his license, right?
Well, I don't think it got revoked, but I don't think like I don't think you.
If someone,
he's not like you
if
can't
someone,
go see
if
Ken
someone
Jeong.
collapses right next to us, and I say, "Is there a
anyone-
doctor in the house?" He would stand up and be like, "Yeah, what the fuck do you want me to do?"
Yeah.
He's dead. He's clearly dead.
Yeah.
Remember when he was in Transformers 2 Revenge of the Fallen and at some
Yeah.
point fucking was fighting Laserbeak and then they did a super dramatic thing where he had two pistols and the camera went right in his face and he was like, "What's up, motherfuckers?"
Yeah.
I really don't remember.
Yeah.
Why'd they do that?
Why'd they
Because he's funny, you know.
Ken Jeong
God,
is
he was
funny.
so good in Community.
support Asian dudes? Dude, Community is so good. I love Community.
I feel like they lose it after the third season a little bit. It's harder to watch. The 40-Year-Old Virgin now on Netflix.
A classic.
So yeah, classic.
A Judd Apatow classic.
Mm-hmm. And then movie theaters are out in movie theaters now. Is we've got How to Train Your Dragon 3,
Yeah.
The Hidden World, which I watched.
Do I need to have seen the other two How to Train Your Dragons?
Yeah,
Very much
absolutely.
so.
Did you not watch them?
No, I hear they're really good,
They're
and
really
I know
good.
they
Well,
are really good.
One's
Two is-
really good.
Two is
No, 2 is very good. Y'all are just
I
regardless.
just rewatched
Hold on.
it. It's very
Barrett, can you bring this up so people can see it?
What? What I'm looking at?
Google.
The autocomplete.
Yeah, but like delete all of it now. Delete all of it and just type IS space. Is water wet?
I'm not going down that rabbit
I don't
hole.
like that question at all.
Thank you for that.
And then we have Fighting with My Family.
Hell yeah,
Did
man.
you watch it?
No, it's just coming out.
Oh, I thought last week you said you were going
This
to
is
watch
the-
it. The dates wrong?
I got the
The
dates
WWE
wrong.
page,
Yeah.
right?
I'm watching this for sure next week.
Doing
You
really
guys
well
both
on Rotten
invited
Tomatoes.
If you want to come, yeah.
I
It's getting
definitely
great
want to
reviews.
come.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool Greg's gonna come too. Do you have any interest?
What?
in
I mean,
watching?
I'll go see a movie. But
We'll
I mean,
watch it next
I
week.
saw
I'll
the
let you know.
trailer and I was like,
Dude, I'm telling you, with A-list.
Yeah.
I'm not really into WWE, you know.
Here's the thing, though.
But it's not about that. It's about
No,
the
I know,
family
I
and the
know.
story of
I
these
know.
people.
I'm excited.
But even
for it.
that, I
Getting-
was like, okay, this is for WWE fans.
I don't know what it is really.
You
But
think?
I
we'll
mean, I
see.
think it partly is.
Part-
like,
I mean-
seeing The Rock be The Rock, you know?
I think we saw all that we're gonna see of him.
Really?
Yeah, I'll bet you.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
You think
imagine.
there's a little bit more?
No,
Very, very little.
maybe a post-credits scene.
Isn't he producing this movie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Which is
I feel like
interesting.
he wants to get butts in the seats, you know?
Dude, I mean, he is the Rock. I
What's
mean,
his company
hustling.
called? $7
Buck.
That sounds right. Let's go with that.
Missed an opportunity. Could call it Rocksteady Productions. That would have been cool. Hits every time.
All right, so last week I asked you kids for your recos over the bronze tier, and you guys came in.
Hard.
The first show someone recommended, which I think Tim might really like, is from Brian from Seattle. He recommends Pen 15 on Hulu. Have you seen this? Have you seen
Dude,
this?
yeah, someone has
No, I
recommended
haven't.
this to me on Twitter.
But is it penis?
Yeah, I think that's what the joke is.
Okay.
It is about two best friends, 7th graders, going to middle school or whatever.
Yeah.
High school? No, I don't know. Middle school, I think it is.
Sounds enthralling.
But it's the kind of shit that you
Yeah,
like
no,
where it's like
I'm
high
down.
school or like early.
Coming of age.
Hey Barrett, can you
Coming of age, thank
search
you.
for penis, please?
I'm not
Nope,
doing that.
nope. And yeah, the trailer looks fun.
Cool. I'll check
It
that out.
seems like it's some shit that
Yeah,
you would
yeah, yeah.
like.
I like that shit. I like little kids.
Mm-mm.
Tim, stop it.
Mario Not Bro says, guys, you have to watch Green Book. It's a phenomenal movie and my current front runner for Best Picture.
I hear it's very good. I haven't seen it yet. I'm still catching up on all the Oscar movies. What's
Best
interesting about
Picture
this
or-
is it's a Best Picture nod.
No, I'm saying, what are you catching up? Just
Oh,
all
well,
of them?
like, yeah, every year before the Oscars, I make sure I try and see as many of the Best Picture nods as
Yeah.
I can. I don't think I'll watch Bohemian Rhapsody, but
Do you like Queen?
Yeah, sure.
You should fucking watch it. It's
yeah, but
fucking
like
great.
I said, I've kind of been boycotting Bryan Singer.
Got it. I forgot.
And I don't want to.
Hey, but it's also Queen. This is like, it's a troubling spot.
Yeah, but like, who needs that story? You
guys should watch it. It's
I can just listen to the albums.
It's true.
But I hear Green Book is really good. And actually, I saw the trailer when it first came out, and I was like, dude, this looks awesome. Yeah. I'm more interested in like how that. Have you guys been following all the controversy around that movie leading up to the Oscars? I'm more interested in seeing how that all resolves.
What's going on? Just give me a little.
Well, just like there was a little bit of like racial tension around it because it kind of portrays like it's kind of like a white savior movie, right? Mm-hmm. But then also in addition to that, Mahershala Ali, who is really awesome in the movie supposedly, like the director and producers kept from him that the character he plays in the movie, that person's family is alive and he could have talked to them, and they basically like hid that information from him, so he had no access to it. So he played this character in a way that the family doesn't approve of, and they've publicly stated that.
Dude, that sucks.
And so there's this controversy about the families
sounds like some Philip
rolling
DeFranco shit.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. That's very true.
This is interesting.
Philip DeFranco did a video where he was talking about all the like behind. Well, he didn't do it. One of the people in his network did it.
His team made a deep. He does deep dive videos now, where I think it's like once or twice a week. There's like investigative journalism video essays. It's really cool stuff. But he did one about how the Oscars work. Like how the voting process works for Best Picture.
And then there's all these negative campaigns that like are not allowed, but secretly done to stop this. Like the Zero Dark 30, they did somebody brought it to. They did a like FBI investigation that was a big deal and in the news where it was like, where did you get your information on torturing? And then, like, as soon as the Oscars happened, drop the investigation.
Or like for Shape of Water, right when the voting process was going on, there was articles going up about, is it plagiarized? And
it turned out, like,
stuff.
if you look into the argument being there, it was like, no, it was very clear it was not plagiarized.
It was just headlines,
but there were
fake
headlines
news
everywhere.
Right.
To cause commotion, and then the moment that like the voting process stopped, it was like those all dropped. And
just
we're
to
like,
kind
oh,
of
no,
like,
it's not.
impact the voting process.
You're not allowed to talk shit about the other movie. You should watch the video. Like,
Yeah, that
It's
sounds
really
awesome.
good.
like,
Yeah.
do you know
Also
how
upsetting.
the voting process works? Because you should watch this.
I mean, I have general senses. Like I know that you only directors vote for other directors and stuff like that.
But for
like
Best
the DGA
Picture,
and shit.
it's such a weird and complicated
The
system.
quick version to tell you is every single category of the 24 is voted on. Just whoever gets the most votes wins, except Best Picture. The way Best Picture works is everybody votes, and the number one needs to win by 50%. Like have 50% of the vote. If it doesn't, they cut the bottom one out, and then they redo the votes and see until one has 50. So in actuality, it's not the one getting the most. Well, it is the one getting the most votes, but it's actually the least
Hated movie.
the least known, like the least popular, the least not popular movie gets it.
So the most popular movie.
But that's different though.
Kind of, yeah.
You know, it is because the less people vote for movies, they're just going to get cut out. So the
Interesting.
splitting the vote works in a really weird way. I'm going to send you the link. It's
But
really
yeah,
cool.
I'll watch
it
it.
isn't the most though, because like if a movie gets 49%, it won't necessarily win. That's so fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's interesting because like there's all this there's a kind of a bunch of negative publicity about the movie coming out now, and I mean even when it first came out, but from all accounts the movie seems like it's a good movie. So
And it also just got on Amazon. I didn't include it in my list because it's Amazon, like you have to pay for it.
yeah.
So it's the only movie out of the 8 nominated Best Picture movies that I haven't seen. How many have you seen of the?
Probably half of them, maybe a little bit more at this point. Yeah, I haven't seen Bohemian Rhapsody. I haven't seen Green Book yet.
Is The Favorite? Did you watch The Favorite?
Oh no, I haven't
A
seen
Star
that.
Is
And
Born?
that's probably I did see A Star Is Born. I love that.
See Roma.
I don't think I'm
Black Panther. You've obviously seen.
Yeah, saw Black Panther.
So
I mean,
right now, what would be your like?
that's
who
the
would you
thing
give
is
it
like
to?
it's really hard because I don't know that there's a clear front runner this year. I guess Roma, but that has the Netflix thing with it.
Good movie.
If I was like in the Academy and voting, I would vote Black Klansman.
Interesting.
But yeah, to me, there's not like a clear front runner. All of them have significant drawbacks to them.
Yeah.
Also, I hear The Favorite's good, but it's just hard to sell me on that kind of movie, like a period piece.
It's a cool movie, but
It's not your favorite.
I don't think it's the number one.
not the favorite
or rather,
either.
I don't think it should be the number one. This is super weird for me, but like for me, if I were to decide Best Picture right now without seeing Green Book, it would be A Star Is Born. I loved it. I loved it.
It's really good.
It's really good.
But it's also not original.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, I just don't want to. That movie was made before already.
Yeah, I know, and they made it again. It was fucking great.
Yeah, but it's the same movie. Like,
yeah, I know, and like, guess what? I didn't watch the other 3 versions that came out. I watched this one.
There are 3 other versions?
Yes, there's 3 other versions.
All I remember is
it
the
goes
Barbra
back to like the
Streisand.
1920s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
30s,
Lots of
somewhere
stars.
in there.
a lot of stars being born.
Let me do a couple more recos. Sam Mosher says American Animals. It's about 4 college students who want to steal their school's rare book collection. I promise it's way more exciting than it sounds.
That sounds cool.
Yeah,
I'm into that.
the trailer is also super dope.
Yeah.
I remember when I watched the trailer,
Super dope.
I was very interested in it, and now
Wait,
that you
what was
bring
it
it up, American Animals. They wear like animal masks. It's really rad.
Oh, I saw a trailer for this.
Yeah.
In theaters.
Looked wild,
weird.
right?
Yeah,
Looked
I don't
weird.
know. I don't really like.
I
didn't
can't
like the
remember
vibe
who
of
was
it.
in the cast, but I remember being like interested.
It has the same vibe of Thoroughbreds in terms of style of shooting and stuff.
Another recommendation from James Davis, also known as 16 Bits of Awesome, says Russian Doll. If you haven't watched it, oh my God, binge it now.
Yeah, a lot
the
of talk
story
about
is
this
fucking
being awesome.
Looney
Haven't seen it
Tunes
yet.
in
Haven't
the
seen it
best
either.
way. I haven't seen it, but it is on my list of stuff to watch. And with just finishing Umbrella Academy, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to jump in.
Good chunk of people on Twitter are saying that this is Netflix's best show ever.
No.
That's what they say.
That's what I'm
No,
hearing.
that's
And I hear
bold.
that,
That's what
the
IGN
less,
says.
The
That's
less
what,
you know, the better.
Oh, is that what IGN says?
I think
They gave it a 10.
Never heard of
Yeah.
that site.
Wow.
Gave it a 10.
And then let's do one more. DH Canna says, all of you guys, especially Nick and Kevin, Nick's not here. Sorry about that. I'll talk to him about this later.
You have to deal with
Should
me today.
watch the TV show Happy. The first season is on Netflix with the second season premiering on Sci-Fi next week. It's based off a comic book and is so completely fucked up on many levels.
It stars Gia's #1 on her laminated list of guys that she
Laminated?
would fuck if given the
Who
chance.
does it star?
The guy from SVU,
Yeah, that's what he said in the thing. All right, cool. So
Christopher Maloney.
Yeah.
that was the
I see it.
your recos for February. Thank you so much for submitting it. And for the bronze tier people, if you're listening right now, please submit topics that you would like us to discuss on quieter days.
Okay. I like
So it'd be
that.
fun to know what you guys are interested. Thank you guys so much for joining us. That has been our show.
Stay tuned for Greg Miller streaming Anthem while eating pizza.
Yeah.
Whoa, can he do both?
And
Stay
drink
tuned
beer?
to
I
find
don't
out.
think so, right? Because the hands.
I don't know, man.
I mean, maybe he's
That's what
forking
Barrett's
knifing
for.
it, you know?
Barrett's gonna stand
No
there,
one does that. And feed it to him?
feed it to him.
I love
I
that.
hate that.
All right, say the thing that you're not allowed to say.
Oh, we'll see you at the movies.
No, you can't say that.